Another stock on our radar is NELCO, trading higher after reporting a good set of numbers for the second quarter. PJ Nath, who's the MD and CEO at the company, now joins us to tell us a little more about the quarter gone by, but more importantly, the business going forward as well. Thanks a lot, Mr. Nath, for joining in. There was a dip in the revenues quarter on quarter, even as there was an improvement in the revenues year on year. Could you tell us, was that on account of delay in execution of contracts? How are these revenues likely to pan going forward?
Yeah, good morning and good afternoon. Thank you for getting me in. We are in two types of businesses. One is in terms of satellite communication services. The other is in terms of satellite communication system integration business. System integration has got a slightly lumpy nature in terms of revenue. So quarter one was one quarter where we had a high revenue because of system integration projects. But if you really see from a year-on-year perspective, we've grown by 23% on revenue over the same period last year. So therefore, overall, the business is doing quite well. The satellite communication services is growing quite effectively. In fact, when you look at 23% year-on-year, it is entirely on satellite communication services and without any system integration, because we didn't have any major system integration project revenue in last quarter same time.
Okay, hi, Mr. Nath. Firstly, wishing you, your family, everyone at NELCO as well a very, very happy Diwali, and may it be a good year personally as well as professionally for you. Let's talk about business though. You're clocking that 75 to around 80 crores odd. What should that be the run rate that we should work with for this year? And for the year, what kind of a revenue number are we looking at? If we go at approximately this 80 crores odd, then you're going to be winding up at around 320 crores. Can you better that? And also margins. Well, last year you did close to around 19.4% or thereabouts. You're currently in that vicinity. Should we work with that number?
Yeah, the margins would be around the same. I think last quarter when I came for the interview, there was a bit of a dip last quarter by 1 percentage point, and there were a lot of queries. So I had said at that time that the EBITDA margins would be in the range of 19 to 20%. I think we'll continue at that level. In terms of your other question, in terms of whether the clocking of 75 to 80 crores is the realistic number, answer is yes. But yes, as we go along, our revenue will go up. Now, what would the effective number? I would not like to really.
How far? Let me guess then, Mr. Nath. 320 crores at least?
Well, near about that, I think we should be there.
All right, near about 320 crores is what you're guiding for. Just wanted to understand about the margins as well. I mean, you had earlier made investments, etc., but now a large part of your raw material or the inputs are also imported. So could there be an impact of rupee depreciation on your margins going ahead?
Yes, all our equipment, bulk of our equipments are imported. At the same time, we also have a fair amount of export revenue. So as of today, we have been shielded against the rupee depreciating so far.
What's your net exposure? What's your net exposure to the rupee? I mean, how much is the imports? How much is the export? Yeah.
As of now, it is kind of nullified so far. So we do not have any exposure so far.
So X of that, what are your margins likely to be going forward?
Pardon me?
X of the rupee, now you're saying that is nullified. What are your margins going to be going forward? Because back in the day, they were dipped because, a lot of the one-time expenditure that you would make on improving your infrastructure, all of that. Now that is behind the company. Going forward, what kind of improvement can we expect?
Yeah, I think, as I said, our EBITDA levels would be around 19 to 20%. I think we'll continue at that level.
Okay, Mr. Nath, just to get back on that rupee point, at what level does it become a worry? You're saying that you import all your equipment and there are some exports as well. So they're pretty much nullifying each other. Is that some level where that turns unfavorable for you?
No, for the current year perspective, we don't see any change in that scenario.
Yes, because you've hedged all your hedged your book. So
we don't see any challenge for this year.
And this you've hedged till the end of this year, that is till FY23?
Yeah, I would not like to say beyond that, but I'm just saying for this year perspective, we don't see a major threat because of rupee depreciating.
Okay. Just to focus on your top line, how much of your money came in from maritime and how much of it came from in-flight communication?
I see between in-flight and maritime communication, we call it IFMC. IFMC contributes to about 23 to 24% of our total revenue. So this is where the breakup is. And between aero and maritime, the breakup would be around 70-30.
70 would be aero and 30 would be maritime.
That's correct.
But we understand that, maritime would be almost a 500 crore opportunity going forward. I mean, by when does that happen? And what does your overall book look like at that time, say, 3 to 4 years from here?
See, there is a lot of growth expected in the maritime industry. As of now, the bulk of the revenue that we get is from international vessels coming into the country when they're in the Indian waters. We believe that the Indian shipping industry will also take off in the next few years, and that is where the growth would be quite high. There are other markets like fisheries which will open up in due course once the regulation permits us to get into newer bands like L band and S band, which helps in terms of really getting the right kind of equipment for that kind of a market. So at that time, we'll see a significant growth in the maritime sector. But to my mind, that will take another 2 years or so before we really see a huge growth. But yes, as a company, we are growing our maritime revenue as well as aero revenue year on year.
All right. And there was a bit of an issue on the semiconductor front, not for you, but for the entire industry and various industries that were dependent on semiconductors. The worst behind us on that front?
Yeah, we are more or less behind that, and off and on there are some challenges, but as of today, that is not a major cause of worry for us. But we are keeping a tight watch on how the equipments are getting manufactured and then delivered to us.
On airlines, the big opportunity was maybe internet in Indian Airlines. Currently, we just have Vistara offering that service. Are you looking at any of these partnerships here, and what kind of opportunity could that provide you, say, from a long-term standpoint?
See, as of today, the entire in-flight connectivity is happening on the international aircrafts. Even Vistara is using for the international aircrafts and not within the country. We believe that the domestic aviation sector will also adopt in-flight connectivity services. But our view is that it will take another year and a half, perhaps, before it really becomes a live service in the country.
Right. Maybe at some time we'll do an interview from the aircraft. All right.
Should be possible. Yeah, if you're on an international aircraft, we can still do it today.
No, I don't think we'll go international anytime soon. But domestic, I would look forward to, speaking with him and maybe tweeting to each other as well, Nigel.
Absolutely. All right. It's been good chatting with you, Mr. Nath. And on that optimistic note, let's hope things move at a better space for better customer satisfaction as well as for your business as well. Wishing you a good day and a good quarter ahead as well.